Today I want to talk about the process of learning fighting games. The fighting game revolution is on our doorstep. Guilty Gear Strive, King of Fighters 15, new Melty Blood, new releases from the big three in the next 2 years. There's going to be a ton of new fighting games to learn, and the time to learn is now. When I first started writing this script, I started with my learning process and how I got to where I am today. I ended up with 3 stages. I call them Green Hill Zone, the Valley of Death, and the Oasis. Fucking poetic, that shit's beautiful. During my research, I discovered that these are actually something similar that exists in the realm of traditional sports. Let me introduce you to the 3-stage model of skill acquisition. It's commonly used in sports coaching to help break down the learning process so it's easier for players to pick up a skill. This process is found throughout fighting games, and it's something that all players go through multiple times. Every time you want to pick up a new game, you'll go through some semblance of this process. This is the journey that all fighting game players are bound to. So, what is it? The 3-stage model consists of the cognitive stage, associative stage, and the autonomous stage. There's 3 stages of skill acquisition. There's 3 stages to my example of the fighting game journey. Let's just mash them together and build ourselves a little storytelling device. You see that? I'm breaking the 4th wall. Am I cool yet? Just click the button. Let's take a sport, say soccer. The overall journey of progression applies to both, but soccer is a team sport and practice works a bit different in team sports than it does in one-on-one. So we'll stick to fighting games for the overall progression. But we can take an executional skill in both soccer and fighting games and examine how the 3-stage model works with skill acquisition in both. In soccer, we'll learn how to keep a soccer ball in the air, a technique called juggling, and compare it to the learning a combo in fighting games. In this case, Kum Hye Hyun's kick loops, which are pretty similar, but instead of a soccer ball, it's this piece of shit. Stay the fuck out of Strive Alpha, I swear to God. Monologue over, let's learn some shit. Stage 1, the cognitive stage, Green Hill Zone. The new game has come out. If you're brand new to the FGC, you've been drawn in by the combos, the characters, the content. You are learning about everything. This stage involves the most information processing. What does this move do? How do I do this input? Does Sailor Mars' grappler? Older players might ask things more along the lines of, what's my anti-air? What's my game plan? What are my combos? This is where a phenomenon I like to call new game entitlement kicks in. Players can fall into the trap of relying on any similar skill sets they might have. In the 3-stage model, this is called relearning. Players will rely on their existing skill sets from a different fighting game or a different game altogether in this stage to avoid discomfort. When confronted with discomfort, they might say, this has always worked before. Why should I change? Why should I block? Why can't I reversal out of this situation? The entitlement comes when your pre-existing skill doesn't work in the new environment, and you're required to adapt your actions to fit the situation.
I need a teabag one.
You need to change because if you don't, you'll fail. Blocking keeps you from taking damage. You can't reversal here because the spacing will make the move whiff. This first roadblock is something a lot of people don't make it past. Some people give up and stop playing. In the cognitive stage, some previous skills do transfer, but it's always an uphill battle. Example, I made it to floor 10 in Strive Beta pretty quickly because I'm a Guilty Gear player. So what? I still got bodied by some dude called Among Us Enjoyer because I failed to adapt, and I'm fucking salty about it! I will battle you to the ends of the earth, Among Us Enjoyer! In the cognitive stage, you make the most progress the fastest, but you are inconsistent and prone to mistakes. By the end of this stage, you're able to recognize what you should be doing, but are unable to do so in real time. In our small example, we're learning what the first step is, the starter for the combo, or how to pick up the ball to juggle it. Stage 2, depression, I mean the associative stage. There's a reason I had this part as the Valley of Death. This is the stage where you are constantly pushing what you're capable of. And as a result, failure is everywhere. Your ego is getting checked left and right.
Oh my fucking God!
Here, we know how to practice our combo and our juggling, but we fail consistently, succeeding some of the time. The important part is that we know how to practice it. We can identify a problem and adjust our approach in an attempt to fix it. At least that's what it should be. This is where players can drown, practicing the wrong things, not confronting problems, becoming fixated on winning. It's hard to stay focused when you're constantly being tested by people the same skill level as you. They have Unga Bunga knuckle tattoos and they fucking Fujin all day long to the ends of the earth Among Us Enjoy. I'm off topic again. Your wins will feel good, but losing can beat you so bad that you're questioning if pouring milk into your cereal is minus on block. Plateaus are the norm here. This isn't the only place your progress can stall, but this is a dangerous place for you if you end up floundering. If your motivation suffers, even though you have the tools to succeed and push past your plateau, if you aren't motivated enough, you won't. And as a result, this can cause some unhealthy mindsets. This is where Smurfs are born. those who've read from the pages of the Techronomicon and know enough to massacre the younglings 3 leagues below them. Those who can't accept that losses are their responsibility. Those who seek winning and nothing else. These are the types of mentalities that can come from this stage. This is the toughest part of fighting games. The grind is real, but if you take it one step at a time and practice consistently, you can make it out of here. Stage 3, the Autonomous Stage. Welcome to the Oasis. Here, you can appreciate your game for what it is. You can watch or play and understand the decision making. For the most part, I will Potemkin Buster you into the Shadow Realm, Among Us enjoyer. You're past the toughest part. You can execute on command without issue most of the time. Mistakes still happen, but you understand that, and that's okay. You're always working to improve yourself. The journey isn't just the process now, the journey is the goal. You still lose now, but when a fight stick wielding gorilla matches with you in rank, you no longer cower in fear. You say, hey bitch, run the set. You can think past the basics because the basics no longer require thought. You are not daunted by the things that you don't know how to do because you understand that to learn them, all you need to do is apply yourself. Practice, and the progress will come. Here, we can do our combo on command. And we can even think of a few ways to put our own unique spin on it. With our soccer ball, we can juggle for days and we can do some new tricks of our own. When you're capable of using your game and your skills to express yourself, that to me is one of the most beautiful feelings in the world. This isn't all perfect though. Once you're here, you gotta stay here. Every player is constantly revisiting the cognitive and associative stages all the time. You can't just acquire the skill of playing fighting games. Your skill set empowers you to play fighting games. This brings us to the end of our journey and my call to action for each of you. Use your skill set to build the community around it. With good games, dank memes, fan art, serial tier lists, whatever you do, just do it. Enjoy your time here. Help those below you, learn from those above you. Take pride in your skill, but remember who you are. Remember how you got here. That's all I've got for today. What do you think? How do you like to learn fighting games? Let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.